Hello, welcome to episode 144 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, 1939's Destry Rides Again. Yeah, it's a western starring James Stewart and Marlene Dietrich. I just heard of that pairing and I was like, I'm in. Let's get this film on. Can't wait. Like that just really sold the film to me. And I was kind of trying to maybe plan a week of these videos where I'd cover all the 1939 films because it seems one of the great years of Hollywood, but didn't quite pan out. But this was one of them, and it really caught my attention. I thought, wow, James Stewart, you know, in like 1939 and Marlene Dietrich in 1939. Very interesting. Can't wait to check it out. So I checked it out, and I loved it. Spoilers. It's probably one of my favourite westerns now, I think. It's set in this western town, as you can imagine, and revolves around the saloon, as you can imagine, where there's a lot of crooked stuff going on. And the sheriff kind of sticks his nose in this rigged poker game, where this guy has lost like his entire land and everything. It's like really unfair. And the sheriff kind of gets bumped off at the beginning of the movie. So the guys who kind of run the town behind the scenes, they elect the local drunk as the new sheriff as a laugh. And the local drunk suddenly takes it seriously. He's like, right, I'm gonna get a good deputy and everything. And he's like, I'm gonna call on the son of old Destry, who used to be this like legendary sheriff and stuff. So he brings over this Destry Jr., played by James Stewart, and he comes in to be the deputy sheriff, and he takes it very seriously, and that's when the crooks in town are kind of thinking like, well shit, now we got something to kind of be careful around. And so it's about this back and forth power play between the crooks and the two sheriffs, and basically James Stewart figuring out that, you know, the old sheriff, that there's a bit of a mystery around his disappearance. I mean, the crooks say that he left town, but there seems to be increasing evidence that he didn't leave town at all. And so it's kind of like a murder mystery. I mean, you know who did it really, but it's about James Stewart trying to figure it out and trying to prove it. Lots of side characters going on, a lot of humor. It's a very funny film. I really enjoyed it. I loved James Stewart's character and his kind of penchant for kind of telling these anecdotes where he'd say, well, you know, I knew a guy who did this and that, and it would kind of relate to what they're talking about, and it became kind of his shtick, I suppose. Marlene Dietrich plays this woman, a dancer in the saloon, and she's in with the crooks. And she's just so brilliant in the film. She's so much fun, so feisty. Like, you just look up feisty in the dictionary. There's a picture of Marlene Dietrich in Destry Rides Again. Just, you know, just an absolute kind of spitfire. And there's an amazing scene about maybe 30 minutes into the film where Destry, he comes in and he sees Marlene Dietrich's character getting in a scuffle with another woman, and he pours water over both of them. And I just thought, oh shit, she is not going to take too kindly to that. She's not going to let him get away with pouring water over her and embarrassing her in front of everyone. And she didn't. She goes absolutely batshit crazy. Marlene Dietrich just annihilates this entire saloon. She's throwing chairs, she's throwing bottles at James Stewart and stuff. It's amazing. Like, it's such a fun, kind of rowdy, kind of bar saloon brawl. I absolutely loved it. It just went on forever as well. And it just didn't outstay its welcome. It was just so entertaining. And that's what makes the film so fun, is the characters. They're really fun to watch, particularly the two leads. I guess they're kind of the two big stars in the film. The rest of the cast is very good too, but, you know, when you got James Stewart and Marlene Dietrich, who, you know, I've become a fan of now after watching films that she's been in this series, Shanghai Express and The Blue Angel. And this was really interesting to see her kind of a bit later on after becoming a star in America and things like that. But yeah, and there's some songs in it where she's singing, and they're not the most pretty songs to listen to. Like, Connie was kind of half paying attention to the film when she was saying like ugly singing, you know. I was like, well, yeah, it's kind of the style, I suppose. But yeah, I love Destry Rides Again. I thought it was a fantastic western, just a lot of fun, like just really entertaining, you know. Didn't need to be too much more than that. And I was you know, you want to see the bad guy get his at the end, and, you know, it's just a really nice from start to finish story. 90 minutes, you know, just really good. Is it a film you should see before you die? I'm going to say yes. I don't think it's you know, a 10 out of 10 film or anything like that. But as far as westerns go, it's one of the most enjoyable ones I've ever seen. Now, I like westerns as a genre. They're definitely not my go-to genre of film. Some of them I find hard to get into. Look at a film like The Man from Laramie, which I recently reviewed in the series, also starring James Stewart. You know, great film, made very well and stuff, but it's hard to get into these westerns sometimes for me, and this one had that fun element and kind of the chemistry between James Stewart and Dietrich that really carried the film. And also I love the guy who played the local drunk cum sheriff. I really liked his character too. So yeah, Destry Rides Again. Again, not like a masterpiece, you know, and that's the thing. I guess now I'm starting to feel like I'm saying yes to films that aren't necessarily the best films ever made. I wouldn't put this on any kind of list of anything really, except maybe my favourite westerns, but there's just a lot of fun to be had to watch this, I think, and to see these two, you know, great iconic movie stars of that, you know, kind of classic era of Hollywood, kind of in a film together. I thought it was really cool. I'd never known they'd done a film together. It seemed like an odd pairing, but it really worked. And again, I just go back to that amazing scene where she gets the water doused over her head and she just loses her shit. It's just, I mean, it's amazing. You've got to see it. Just watch that scene if you can find it. That would be my recommendation. So yeah, that's it, I guess. Not much more to go into on that one. I really enjoyed it, and we'll definitely go back to it again and again. So let me know your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you have any thoughts on any other James Stewart films, or Marlene and Dietrich. That's the thing, James Stewart. I'm just like, when is this guy going to pull in a bad performance, or when am I going to see a bad performance that he's pulled in? Because at this point, I'm seeing him from all in like 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, 60s, and I'm just like, when's he gonna, you know, when's it the penny gonna drop? Like, yeah, he's not perfect, you know, he is human after all, but no, he's just great in everything that I've seen. Maybe I'm just picking the right films, I don't know, but yeah, James Stewart, one of my favorite actors now, without a doubt, and loved him in this. So, as you can tell, I enjoyed the film, so I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.